Alright, welcome back again. This is Graphics, and today we are going to be creating a simple flyer like this. So far so good. If you have been following up on my YouTube channel, you will really understand the steps on how to make use of the tool. So this will be our first design. It's just a simple design, and I would just urge you to just pay close attention to the video even as we hop in. All right, see what we are going to create. We're going to do this. All right, so the first thing you're going to do is, now I have an empty page. What you have to do is to strike Ctrl N on your keyboard. All right, or you click here and say open a new page. So click on open a new page. Then you say, let's say first design. And now we're going to check the size of this, because we have different kind of flyer size or design size. Okay, let's go with A5 and then say okay. All right, so this is an A5 flyer design. So what you're going to do first is come to this rectangular tool. When you pick the tool, you create like a foreground, a background color. Okay, so or just say let's give this white, or you can decide to just leave this empty. All right, so the next step you're going to do now is to import. Let's import the background we are going to use. So click on import. I have that file on my, I'm looking for the background. I have the background. Let's, I need a background that is okay. I'm going with this. So this is it. Then you just have to click and drag. Then you have it here. So now, but if you look at this, it is not the same size with this. So what you have to do is to power clip. And how do you power clip it? You right click on it, right click on your mouse. When you right click on your mouse, you see here power clip. Now this arrow is an indication of where you're placing it. So let it be inside. Are you seeing it? So now let's look at it. Now we have our background place. You can download any background, but not too catchy background, a background that is moderate. So now the next thing we are going to do, we are going to write the heading. And we have, let's say, chapter um, of the Annunciation. All right. So now I'm going to choose this. You have lots of font that you can download online. All right, so I'm going to use this. Then come to your color field and select a color. Let's reduce this a bit. So I'm going with this. So when you make a mistake, if you want to undo it, you strike Control Z. All right, so it's going to be like this. So this is the name of the church. So let's say we have another write up. What you have to do is to duplicate this. If you don't want to pick another text to type, you say Control D on your keyboard. All right, Control D. So we have Control D now. We have our object duplicated. Let's just say City of God. Sorry, City of God. And I have this. So placing this here now. You can decide where to place it. It really doesn't matter. It's just your concept, your design, or you can decide to place it at the middle, whichever way. I think this is too big. I have to reduce it a bit. Um, okay, this is not the object of the design. All right, so we can go with this. Just so what you're going to do next now is pick the text box, and we're going to type 1 hour with God. Okay, so now we're going to type all of the word independently. So I have O here, and we're making use of the area black. So I have an area black. Let's, so I have a lot of fonts here. So if you're looking for a font to use, you can just go to Google and say download font for Corel Draw, or you just say download font pack. It will open up um, a part where you will, or a website where you can download many fonts. So this is one. We are about to spend an hour with God, so we have this. And duplicating, now I have another one, which is an N, and another one duplicate, which is an E. Of course, I know how to spell one. Okay, which is an E. So I have this here. I have this here positioned at the center. So the way you know the center is click your mouse on the background. So you see this line here. You can actually use your meter rule. Okay, the ruler is still indicated. So you can just push this here with this highlighted. You can say, okay, this is the center of this line here. All right, so I have this here. So now I know the center. I want it to be just right at the center. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, you strike your delete, correct? So I'm going to pick a shape and draw is a perfect red, the red color. So what you do now, you observe there is an outline here. So you just come to this, right click on it and say set outline. Okay. So what we'll do next now is we are actually going to add a transparency effect to this. Okay. So what we're going to do now is adding a transparency effect now. So click here on this transparency tool. Okay, then you make adjustment on this. Are you seeing it? So you do the same thing. Whatever you do to one, you do to all. So now I have this, placing it closer to the one. Then I have another one. I'll do the same thing to this part. You see where you're facing the transparency tool. Anytime you're working with the transparency tool, you have to make sure that the darker part you want, okay, will face the angle where you want to make transparent. All right. So, so this is, are you seeing it? The word is looking as if is actually behind another. Of course it is. So what I'm going to do next now is to draw 1 hour width. So we'll just type the word width. Okay, we can give a field to this. Say now we're going to just use one font. So we are making use of this. Um, I'm not going with, I wanted to go with yellow, but let me just go with white. So I have this. And the next thing we're going to do now is to type the word God. So is it that you pick this and duplicate it? All right, click on this and say Control D on your keyboard. For some persons who do not know what Control D is. Control D is when you have an object and you want to make a duplicate, or you can come to the edit file and say duplicate. So I have this my object duplicated. So what I'll do is I'll double click on it, then strike Control A. You see, you click on it when the cursor is blinking, then you strike Control A to highlight it. Now I have the word God. The same effect that is applied to this one now is being transferred to this one. So I'll give a color, I'll give a yellow color to this. Now, if you observe, this text is behind this shape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it forward by right clicking on it and say order in front of this. Okay, you're seeing it. So let me increase it small a bit. So what I'm going to do next is we're going to duplicate this and say O. Okay, this is O, and let's arrange it. But now you have to look at something. Is looking like, okay, let's just do the last one before I will explain what I mean. So now we're not going to add a transparency to this D. So what we're going to do is click on this. You can decide to just click on this to remove the transparency. No transparency. I still have our effects like that. Okay, you can make the adjustments depending on how you want it. So I'm making my adjustments the best way I feel it will be more attractive. It's more attractive, more attractive. So I depending on what I want to do. So now just making some adjustments to it. One R with God. So an R should be here. One R with God. So I have this. All right. So now we have this one R with God, but we have to centralize it. Have to centralize it. Click outside, highlight it, then make adjustments on the part you want to. So now, and I want some of this word to pop out and some to be behind. So I want this A to come out. So what I have to do is place it, right click on the O independently, come to in front of this. I just want it to be in front, then others can be behind it, right? Yeah, that's how I want it. And let me just make small adjustment to this. You don't have to design it in such a way that you have to feel. I'm thinking of changing this color. I think using does this look weird? That can be applied to all. All right, it all depends though. But I think I'll go with this yellow. The yellow looks more catchy. So what you're going to do next is you pick another text, or you can duplicate this one. Then maybe you change the font later on. Duplicate by striking Control D and say, let's say we are the program is every Monday. So Monday, I have this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to increase this very word Monday, only the Monday, only the Monday. It's too much. I'm going to make it bigger than the rest. Okay. So giving it a different color now is, I think I have to go with this. Okay. Uh, this is fine. Let me choose. I'm very, very conscious with colors, like very, very particular with colors. So I'm going to change the font to Berlin. Berlin is the name of a font that you can find anywhere. Yeah. The moment you store Corel Draw, you'll definitely see a font Berlin. So I'm using Berlin and sorry. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I just want to make this uniform. Let's see how it is. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay with this. I think it's more catchy. So every Monday, time, what time, what time do we want this program to be? Say 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock p.m. So I'm going to use increase, maybe use this will go. I think this is fine. But I'll just reduce the font a bit every Monday. Then let me just do something different. Duplicate this, all right? Striking Control D, and I say max up, max up, max up. Then I'll repeat the same thing I did to increasing this font, say 40, still okay, but the difference is not really clear. So let's make this, was it 40 I used? Okay, let me use 38. So you can actually impute the size of 38 is still not noticeable. Okay, but I'll go with 48 is okay. So now we have this, and I'm definitely going to change the font. Maybe putting this yellow. Um, then changing this to white. All right, so now there is one thing about designing that most persons really don't understand. Sometimes it is not like your designs are not fine. You have to go with the flows of the color you are using. All right, you can decide to put something different. You can decide to make something. I will talk about coloring in design. I will talk about coloring. And but before then, I just want you to have it at the back of your mind that different color actually represents different thing, and depending on what you want to do and the audience you want to catch. All right, so you know what to do. So marks up is an exclamation. So there will be an exclamation mark here. All right. So this is you can actually add some other things if you want to. Let me group this. I'll say all of these. See group, then I'll duplicate them. This very one here, the one, duplicate them. And the moment I do that, I can add a transparency to it. Let me make them one object. Convert to bitmap. So the purpose of converting it to bitmap is just for you to make it look like a picture. Like I can't separate it now the way it is. So with this now, I can add a transparency to it and make something like this. So if you look at the background very well, you will see the one. This is all just to add beauty to the design. It is not something that is very special. So it's something that you can just play around with. Okay, it's something you can play around with and decide to. You see, the font I actually decided to use is not the font I end up using because I feel like I need to have the best, okay, and feel like I need to have the best of what I'm doing. So I deem it very necessary. So that is it for now. This is how to make a very simple flyer design. If you have any question, just put it at the comment section. And all the steps that we did is just simple. We have our background, we have the the size of the flyers. Okay, I will talk about sizes of flyers. I'll really explain it. Maybe in my next video, I will explain it so you understand what size of flyer you're making, because these are the basic things, the fundamental things that you need in order to make a design. So you ought to know that. So this is how it is. You play the flyers, size is chosen. You choose your font, your preferred font. You might actually make do with the font you're having on your laptop, because there are certain fonts that actually comes with there are certain fonts that comes with the system. So all of those things are the things that you have to consider. If you don't have the font right at your disposal, so you just have to make do with what you have, you will still get a very amazing result. So if this is your first time of coming to my YouTube channel, just don't forget to like, to share, and to subscribe. So I'll see you on my next video, and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you for keeping up, and I'll see you on my next video.